Hit it! That's what I'm talking about.
Wait!
Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys.
Hi everyone, I'm Alice Robinson. I'm a real estate agent with the Grisak Group. Tom Grisak is here too. He's doing the videoing. And we are here at NSYNC Exotics today with the media director, Angela Culver. So first of all, how long have you been here at NSYNC Exotics?
I've been here since the fall of 2010. So I've been here almost 11 years.
And then how long has NSYNC Exotics been here?
We have been here for over 20 years. We just celebrated 20 years in 2020.
Has it always been at this location?
It has.
Okay.
Yeah, we've always been here. So we rescue abused, neglected, unwanted exotic cats. Okay. So people that think that they would make good pets, which they don't, by the way. People who use them for the cub petting industry. So pay, $150, bottle feed a tiger cub, or, come swim with one, or pet one, or whatever. That's where we get a lot of our animals.
Where are these people getting the animals?
They're getting them from private breeders.
Okay.
They are sometimes being smuggled across the border. We've got 2 tigers who were being smuggled from the border, across the border from Mexico.
Okay.
And it's not illegal currently to have these exotic animals here in Texas.
Okay.
Yeah. There is the Big Cat Public Safety Act that is up for legislation. So contact your representatives and tell them to vote that vote for the Big Cat Public Safety Act. Yeah, absolutely.
So how did this place originally get started?
So Vicki Cahey, the owner, was a veterinary technician.
Okay.
And somebody brought in their pet Cougar to the vet's office for some treatment. They performed the treatment. They called the owner to come get the Cougar. Never showed up.
Oh no.
So it's not like when somebody leaves a domestic.
Yes.
You can't just post, looking for a home for a Cougar. So the options were pretty limited at that point. That was back in 1998. And so Vicki, rather than have this cat euthanized, Vicki went and did the research, found out what it would take to bring Tahoe home, and built an enclosure and went through all of the proper channels with USDA, with permitting, with all of that, and was able to bring Tahoe home.
Is Tahoe still here?
No.
How long do cougars typically live?
So in captivity, they can live 18 to 22, 23 years.
Okay.
Out in the wild, that's much, much shorter because they're having to compete for food, for resources. If they get injured, they don't have a staff veterinarian here to take care of them and things like that. But in captivity, they can live quite a long time. And
I was just learning in your welcome center that a cougar is also a mountain lion, a puma, and a catamount. A catamount.
Can you talk about your programs? I mean, how, if someone wanted to bring a group out here, how do they schedule that? What does it cost? How often do those tours come through? What days can you do it? Could you explain that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are open to the public on Saturdays and Sundays, 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. Right now we're on summer hours, so we're also open on Fridays 11 to 5. And for any day that we're open to the public, people can come in for a self-guided tour. Anybody in an NSYNC shirt, feel free to ask questions and they'll be more than happy to answer those for you. We do have tour groups available for booking that would be available. You can go to our website, nsyncexotics.org, and you can schedule tours that way.
How far out do they have to schedule? Like, can you do it day before usually?
No, it's usually at least 2 weeks. We have to make sure that we have a tour guide available to be able to do that.
How big of groups are we talking? Like field trip size, or?
We've done field trips for like classes and schools and things like that, or senior centers or church groups, things like that. But it can also be really small. We have feeding and bone tours available, and those are for much smaller groups. Those happen at night.
What's a bone tour?
So twice a week the cats will get bones to help simulate what they would get out in the wild.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Okay. So that you can watch them being fed.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. That's neat.
Yeah. So who's doing all of this? You have employees, but you also have volunteers?
Yes. Yeah, we have 9 paid staff members, and then we have over 100 volunteers who come out here and volunteer their time.
100.
Every single enclosure gets cleaned every day. We have people who prepare the food, people who feed the cats, people who clean enclosures, people who maintain the grounds. We have it literally takes a village. We could not do this without all of our amazing volunteers.
Yeah.
And if people wanted to volunteer, how would they go about finding out more information?
Sure, they can go on our website, insyncexotics.org, and there's a tab that says Ways to Help, and there's a volunteer button. Click on that, and our volunteer coordinator will send you information about what all volunteering entails. No, you don't get to go in and play with the kitties. It's a lot of hard work, but it is the most rewarding thing that I personally have ever done. So.
Is it federally funded in any way? It's all volunteer?
We are all donations. We're a 501c3, and we're at an operating budget of over 1.2 million a year.
Okay.
So all of that comes from donations. We do have North Texas Giving Day coming up September 23rd.
Good point. I'll be contributing to y'all.
Thank you very
Absolutely.
much. It is our single biggest fundraising day of the entire year. So.
And then is there a fee, an entrance fee on the Saturdays and Sundays that you have it open?
We have a suggested donation of $12 for adults, $8 for seniors and kids. It's not an entrance fee per se, but it is a suggested donation. So if people want to give above that, we are definitely very, very grateful for anything that people give.
Right. And this is obviously the only way I can describe it is a no-kill. Once you get these, they're with you forever?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And what happens when you grow out of these cages? Do you just build more cages? Or?
We build more cages, or we have to turn cats away.
How many cats are currently here?
69.
Wow.
I had no idea you got that many.
Well, sorry, kind of cats?
67 cats, 2 lemurs.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what kind of cats do you have?
So we have bobcats and cougars, which are native to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
We have tigers, we have lions, we have leopards, we have a cheetah, we have servals. So we've got,
what's a serval?
Servals are
like a
kind of
cat.
smaller,
Okay.
Yeah.
smaller African wildcats.
Okay.
Really long legs, really long ears.
Okay.
So we're in front of one of the cougar enclosures, and as you can see, there's platforms for cougars to be able to get up high. They like to be up high out in the wild or in captivity. So we provide lots of different surfaces for them to be on. There's a waterfall. Cougars don't typically just lounge in the water like a lot of tigers do, but we provide ample opportunities for them to make sure that they are hydrated and can get cool, especially in the heat of the summer like it is here.
And I wanted to say this too, it's been 6 or 7 years since I was out here the last time.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, I want to see this. I've got that's my NC cap. And I'll be buying some more merchandise from them today. But when I was out here, I was impressed at how clean and well taken all the cages were and the animals were. So that's a testament to y'all. You're really committed to what you do.
The cats always come first.
And I know it's tough, always be in the position of asking for donations, but guys, this is a hidden gem. And I tell you, a lot of people don't even know this is here. In Lucas, I will bet you, in Fairview, I bet you 60% of the people don't know that's here.
Yeah.
But it's a great experience for kids and adults alike.
What about, has anybody done their senior project? I know in Lovejoy ISD, all the seniors have a project that they focus on for every year. Has anybody come out here and focused on the cats? And okay.
We've had some Eagle Scout projects out here.
Okay.
We've had senior projects. We've had a variety of different kind of community assisted projects out here, and we love it.
Okay.
Our focus has to be on the cats and the care of the cats. So sometimes there's not a lot of time or resources left over for all of these extra projects. So it's we're
Right.
incredibly grateful for
Right.
all of it.
So that's what an empty cage looks like. That's how they start. And how long does it take them to get to acclimated to it? Do they ever get to bigger cages? Or how often do you move the cats around, or do they move around?
They will move as needed.
Okay.
So if, for example, one cat passes away and we need to move cats for
Right.
a reason, or if cats have been getting along well and then suddenly they decide that they're not good neighbors anymore, sometimes
makes
we'll
sense.
have to move cats.
Yeah.
But a lot of it is just based on their personality. A lot of it is based on who the owner and the keepers and the curator think will do well together. And it's trial and error based on a very, very educated guess. Small cat enclosures are about 60,000, and the bigger enclosures for tigers and things like that, since they have the pools in it, that's going to be more.
And this is a beautiful spot too, by the way, where all of it surrounding this is all nature.
Yes.
So you really are out in nature when you come here, which is neat too.
Yes, that tiger's home.
All right. So this is Cincinnati,
This is Cincinnati.
and what's his story, or her
So
story?
Cincinnati came to us from a private owner, along with several other tigers and a few cougars. Cincinnati was over 100 pounds underweight when we got him.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So he was super thin when we got him, and was a little bit timid, a little shy. He wasn't sure quite what to do. But we were able to give him proper nutrition, start getting his weight up to healthy levels, and he got let out on the playground and he immediately started showing his personality. He is a big goofball. He is one of the silliest cats that you will ever see. He is so much fun.
Do you think they grow attached to their caretakers?
Oh yeah,
Do
definitely.
they? Okay.
They definitely have their people. Some cats don't like anybody,
Oh, isn't he
or
beautiful?
don't like very many people. Some cats really like a lot of people. Cincinnati is a ham, as you can tell.
He knows he's on camera.
He does. Some of our cats like to show off, like
How
you see
long
here.
ago did you get him?
We got him. It's been several years. So
Okay.
he's been here. He's been here a while and has been acclimated, and he is very, very happy.
He is beautiful.
And you can see it's nice. It's got water back there.
Yes.
Does he go back there and lay in the water when it gets hot?
Yes, he loves to be in the pool. I'm surprised that he's not in it now. And his favorite game is to take that big, huge blue floaty ball,
Uh-huh.
and he'll like jump and get the ball, and then it'll float away from him, and then it'll come back, and he'll get all like growly and like jump and get it again.
Do you ever change their toys out for them?
Oh yes, absolutely. So their toys are inspected when their playgrounds are cleaned every day, just to make sure that they're still in good condition, because they are not indestructible, no matter what the marketing says.
I imagine he gets a hold of something, it's going to be...
Yeah, I mean, they like the big, huge blue 55-gallon water barrels. They will put their teeth right through.
Wow, really?
Oh yeah. And they will like they'll drag them in the pool and then drag them out full of water. Like that's how strong they are. With their teeth.
What do you think he weighs?
Cincinnati.
350 pounds, maybe?
No. I would hate to guess. I'm terrible at
Okay,
guessing things
that's
like
all
that.
right.
I don't know what his latest weight is. But he's
Okay, neat.
he's a big boy. I think our heaviest cat is, I want to say almost 400.
Say that again.
I think our heaviest cat right now, I believe, is almost 400 pounds.
Wow, okay. Which way do we go now? Okay, let's talk about Lambert here. Tell us about Lambert.
So Lambert was purchased by a father in West Texas whose children had seen Disney's Lion King and thought that it would be awesome if they had their very own Simba. So
Oh my gosh.
Dad went out and bought a lion cub for his two small children.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And then very quickly,
That's someone with more money than brains.
yes, I've heard it said more dollars than cents.
Yeah.
And so very quickly realized that this was not an ideal situation and contacted us and asked if we would be able to take him.
How old was he when you got him?
About 3 months.
Oh, wow.
Was he already pretty good sized at 3 months?
Yeah, he was probably about like
Okay.
about like that.
Yeah.
But he was a lion
But he's a lion.
as a pet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, does not make good pet.
Are they more active in the evening
Yeah, they're
when
they're
it cools
a little
off?
A little bit more active when it cools off, and just like your domestic cats at home, these guys can sleep up to 20 hours a day.
Wow.
So they are champion sleepers.
Are they, would you say they're almost nocturnal?
They are active at night. They're more like crepuscular and nocturnal, so active dawn, dusk, and then at night.
Okay. Beautiful cat. Boy, he's so healthy too, healthy looking. And you told me a story too. There, and this may have been this lion. I've been out here before, and there was a male lion up at the front that just did not like me. I never said anything to him. I never walked close to the cage, but he just didn't like me, and I couldn't figure out why. And you said what it might be. Tell him.
So sometimes cats just don't like people, but also based on their previous circumstances, if they've had previous owners who have abused or neglected them, they might equate that with, like, somebody here might remind them of that. We've had a couple of cats who just didn't like men, period. And especially like men wearing hats.
I was wearing a hat too.
Right out. So it's just and you know, we tell people don't take it personally.
Yeah, exactly.
You know,
You're a very likable guide.
Right.
Yeah.
Don't
Well,
take it
thank you.
personal, Tom.
Thank you. And I am a huge animal lover, so
awesome.
it kind of hurt my feelings, but that's okay. All right, let's go take a look at another one.
All right.
Who is this here? It's a beautiful white tiger.
So this is Karma, and she is currently keeping an eye on Cincinnati, who's out on the playground.
Do they get along?
They get along. They don't go in together, but they enjoy watching each other.
Okay. But they're not at the fence, you know,
they're
at each other's.
No.
Trying to, okay.
Karma is in with Gus, who is over there napping.
Look at him turning over.
Yeah.
That is taking a big yawn.
This is Taboo. He's one of our black leopards.
Okay.
And he came from California as well.
Oh, he's laid back there, isn't he?
Yeah.
Got that.
He's funny. He likes to play peekaboo with his human caretakers.
How often do the caretakers go into the cages, or do they ever go into the cages?
With the cats? No.
So they're always fed through a.
Yeah, through a feed slot.
Okay.
We have specialized feed slots that their bowls go in and then are retrieved through.
So no matter how gentle or peaceful you think they are, you would never allow that. Okay. So he's got a nice big cage here. You know, the way I look at it, it's not free open space, but it's a great quality of life if the alternative is put them down.
Absolutely.
So
absolutely. We would love to not have to exist, honestly.
Yeah.
We would love to not have to rescue any of cats because of, you know, humans who have thought that they could keep them in cages, but
and I'm sure it gets old always asking people for donations, you know, but that's how the
tough.
organizations are. But if someone makes a contribution, y'all, it is tax deductible.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Remember that,
every dollar goes to the cats.
Okay.
Every single penny goes to the cats.
Okay.
We put them first. Snowmageddon this last year, we had people that moved here on property for several days just to make sure that the cats got taken care of and fed and all of that, and we're safe, and we're out here, you know, breaking up the ice in their water.
How do you keep them warm? I mean,
so we put, in the winter when it's cold, we put straw in their den areas.
Yeah. And
the bigger cats can regulate their body temperatures a little bit easier. As far as that goes, the smaller cat enclosures have inside den areas where the temperature is controlled.
Okay.
So the smaller cats, you know, can go inside, get warm in the winter or cool in the summer.
Okay.
But for the bigger cats, we do straw in the dens to keep them nice and warm in the winter, and then they have lots of fans in the summer as well as pools that they can go to.
Tell me about playground time.
All right, so all of our cats have access to the playgrounds every single day, and they have their inside den area, and then they get playground time. So some of the enclosures have a built-in playground. Some of them have a shared playground where one particular cat will get, you know, so long out on the playground, and then we will ask them to come back in, which usually works. Sometimes with a little coaxing.
Yeah.
And then we bring another cat out onto the playground.
So they all love coming out to the playground?
Most of the time, yeah. Most of the time. Although sometimes in the summer, it is cooler in the concrete, like on the concrete of their inside den area. So sometimes they don't want to come out onto the playground.
Right. How well cared for this place is?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Isn't that nice? And we're out here. I mean, there is nature all around us, so it's a nice drive out here too. It's about, I timed it on my car, it's about 12 minutes from Lucas.
It was about 20 minutes from Fairview.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
So, really impressed with this place.
Oh, thanks. This is Athos. He's our male, and he's the one that's laying down on the ground, and Sheila is up on top of the den.
they obviously get to. How did you know they got along before you put them together?
So our introduction process is very slow and very highly supervised. They did not come from the same facility. In fact, Sheila was in with another male before he passed away due to old age. And she was lonely, and we...
How do you know? How do you know when a cat's lonely?
She was acting depressed. She was acting not quite her usual playful self.
Yeah.
Do they mate?
No. So all of our females are spayed.
Okay.
All of our males are neutered, with the exception of male lions, because if you neuter a male lion, it can cause his mane to fall out, which can cause either aggression or depression or other issues.
Huh.
But all of the females are spayed, so we don't breed here.
Yeah.
There has been a tiger cub born here because his mom was pregnant when we rescued her.
Okay.
So, unbeknownst to us at the time, so that was a little surprise.
Yeah. This is Salem in the background. Is that right?
That's Salem in the background, and then that's Mystery right up front. And she's been getting some meds. That's why there's well, we've got some blood bowls and some medications lying around.
Do these guys ever play with each other? I mean, do cats ever?
Oh yeah, the cats are totally.
They
play
do.
with each other.
Play fight and.
Not generally fight. Mystery is a little bit older, and so we have her on some medications to help manage some of her joint issues and things like that.
Uh-huh. I saw this bar across the pathway. What's that all about?
So that is to keep Twiggy, our horse, on the back half of the property while we're open to the public. Just keeps her from wandering out the front gate.
So she'll wander through these paths?
Uh-huh.
You're kidding.
No, we also have 3 goats that are on the property as well.
What do the tigers do and lions when they see them?
Not much, unless
Really?
they're running, and then they'll get
That
kind of
gets
interested.
excited?
But most of the time they're just kind of like, meh.
Yeah, so you'll be out here and a horse will come walking by, or how neat is that?
Twiggy,
Love
yep.
this place. Okay,
Yeah.
let's go to the next
You're
spot.
Good. You're good.
Oh, look! Hi, Moyo! Oh my gosh, how beautiful! Hi, baby girl. Hi, sweetheart.
Okay, now who is this?
This is Moyo, and she's our cheetah. She came to us from a species survival plan breeding program in Oregon,
Uh-huh.
and she aged out of that program, and so they asked us if we could take her, and we were all too happy to. So now she gets to live out her retirement and her golden years here with us.
So, I guess you guys are well known enough that people know that you're an option rather
Yes.
than, yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
so we are accredited by the Global Federation of Animal Sanctuaries,
Okay.
or GFAS for short. We are a part of Tigers in America,
Uh-huh.
and we have worked with International Fund for Animal Welfare in rescue organization or operations in the past as well. So
Do they
there's-
come out and inspect you for you to maintain your certification?
That is handled by the USDA.
Okay.
As we get inspected.
So they don't fund you, but you're governed by them.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, that's nice of them to do that.
How often do they come out?
I believe it's every year.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Tom, while we're right here, you've got to show Angela's tattoo.
Oh yeah, look at
it's
that.
so
Look at that. Isn't that funny? Oh, that's
I am
great.
committed to
Oh,
my
you
word.
sure are.
So pretty. And then we've got cougars in this next enclosure. They are probably all either completely up or in their inside area. This was the most recent enclosure that we completed.
This is, I was going to say, it was probably, I can't remember when the last time I was out here, but this is much larger than when I was out here last time.
Yeah. Got somebody outside.
And what is the best time for people to visit, to see the animals, do you think?
Either when we first open, right about 11, or closer to when we're going to close. During the heat of the day, especially right now during the summer, people are welcome to come out, but a lot of the cats are just kind of sacked
Lethargic,
out napping
yeah.
and trying to keep cool.
Yeah, me too.
So, right.
Okay.
Hi.
Now, like, what would this guy play with? What's his favorite toy, do you think?
She likes the bags and the boxes that we put in there for her.
Uh-huh.
She likes the different scents.
I was going to ask you too, I noticed this one is pacing. Is that a sign that, you know, they're anxious or they're stressed?
It could be, but also out in the wild, these guys' natural territories are very, very large. And so walking is just something that they do.
Okay.
It's something that they're
Right.
hardwired to do. So a lot of times you'll see them up walking around and they're
Right.
patrolling their territory.
But that's a large cage. I don't know if the camera represents it well, but that's
It's
good
big.
size.
It is
And
big.
I want you to notice, look how it goes up there too.
Yeah. Yeah,
Look
they
at that
have all
catwalk.
kinds of catwalks up there. They love hanging out up top.
Is that how catwalk got this name, do you think?
I don't know. I don't know the
Oh,
origin.
that's funny.
I don't know the origin of that word, but that would be fascinating to find out.
Cool. And how often does this one go up there?
Oh, all the time.
Who names them when they come in? Or do you stick with their original names, or do you guys name them yourself?
It depends. If they come with a name that is that they're attached to,
Yeah.
or that is you know, representative of them, we'll go ahead and keep it. If they don't have a name, or if you know, if they have, we've had some cats come in with some really terrible names and very
Yeah.
like derogatory names.
Yeah.
Those cats' names got changed. Every enclosure is called something a little bit different.
Okay.
Just so that we have like a shorthand way of being able to identify a basic area.
Where they are.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what do you use your van for?
We use that for transporting cats when we go on rescues, or when we have to take a cat for a procedure that can't be done here on property, like
Okay.
an MRI or something like
Right.
that. Then we will use that van to transport. And we've gone on plenty of rescues where we haven't been able to house the cats permanently, but we've transported other animals to other places
Okay.
from rescue.
How often are you getting calls for cats to rescue?
Multiple times a year for sure.
Wow.
So if you're out here, this guy will just come walking by. Chances are,
Yeah.
can people feed?
No. she's not terribly
Feeder?
human friendly, so I wouldn't get too close.
Okay.
So staff members are in black shirts,
Uh-huh.
and volunteers are either going to be in a gray shirt, a red shirt, a gold shirt, or a green shirt, depending
Okay.
on their level and how their level of expertise.
Right.
And then board members are in blue shirts.
And how many do you have out here at one time? What's normal?
Ooh, probably
Just on average.
maybe 15.
Okay. And do you ever do off-site presentations? with
Yeah,
your cats?
absolutely. That's
Tell
what
me about that.
we have an education director, and they will go to schools and different events and take a table and put up a booth and educate people. North Texas Irish Festival is generally a very, very big event for us.
Okay.
It hasn't been the past couple of years, obviously, but hopefully we can get
Right.
back to that.
But
we
you
love
wouldn't
going out
actually take one of your smaller cats on a leash, even
Oh, no.
though. Okay.
there. No,
All
no,
right.
we'll take stuffed animals.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot of nice shady place right here. I like this.
Oh yeah. We have a lot of really mature pecan trees out here,
Hey, buddy, you found the shade, didn't you?
which are great for the shade. They're kind of terrible during, like, we affectionately call it like pecan poop season.
Uh-huh.
Like when you have all those little like
That drop.
the
They'll
drops.
break those open and eat them.
The pecans not so much.
But it's just everywhere.
It's just everywhere. It's
Oh,
just
okay.
it's just a pain to clean out of the fences all the time.
Get really bad storms in Texas. How do
Yeah.
cats react to those?
Most of the time, if it's just some rain, no big deal.
Okay.
Bigger storms, some of them will get a little bit scared. We do have safety protocols and procedures in place for if there's, you know, serious storms like tornadoes and hail and things like that. We try to get the cats into their inside den area and locked in there so that they are safe.
Yeah. Tell us about this. What would you do with this one?
So this is one of our playgrounds for tigers.
Uh-huh.
So they can go in the pool. There's a little island in the middle. We've got a waterfall for them, and behind the waterfall there's actually a pass-through. So that area is not only shaded, but it's nice and cool. It gets a breeze through the water, so it stays nice and cool. A lot of the cats like to hang out back there when it's their turn on the playground.
You know, one thing I haven't filmed is what the top of these look like, just in case you're wondering. They're all very secure.
Oh, yes.
These cages are built like a fort. That's chain link fence.
Somebody's watching us.
Yeah.
There's a tiger in here right now.
There is.
Okay, I noticed that this one, that beautiful tiger, it looks like he's favoring his paw. What's that all about?
So this is Solomon, and a year and a half ago he had what's known as a fibrocartilaginous embolism. And one morning he wouldn't come out of the den, and once we finally did get him to try and get up out of the den, we noticed that his left side was basically paralyzed. He couldn't use it. So we sedated him, we took him in for a whole bunch of tests, and that's when they found out it was a fibrocartilaginous embolism.
It happened quickly? That quickly? Okay.
And so for a long time he couldn't use his left side at all. And so through a lot of therapy, a lot of acupuncture, a lot of cold laser therapy, physical therapy, and special 3D printed boots that were like specially printed just for him, we've been able to get him where he is now, like he still can turn over his left paw. Most of the time he doesn't, but he can do it.
Will he eventually get to the point that he'll recover completely, do you think?
We're hopeful. He's been recovering, and so we're hopeful that he will continue to do so. But the inside of his enclosure has rubber mats on it to help, since he flips that paw over on the back so frequently, to help keep that from getting, you know, infected and like injured.
But that wouldn't be a case normally where you'd put a cat down though, right?
Oh, no, absolutely. It is easier for them to recover when they're younger, but he has shown an amazing amount of resilience and has made a lot of really good recovery, and we're hopeful that he'll just keep recovering. So
good. Well, this is a good time for me to ask you about the vet.
Yeah.
How tell me about, I know these animals must require a lot of vet care.
Yes.
How is that handled?
So we have a full-time on-staff veterinarian. His name is Dr. Cameron Ratliff. And Twiggy's spying on us.
That was funny.
And so we're able to do most things here on site. We have a vet clinic here with a complete surgical suite and x-ray room. So most of everything that the cats would need, we're able to do here on site.
That's expensive too.
It's expensive, but less expensive than having to take them off site to do it.
Yeah.
And also much less traumatic because the cats know the vet. They see him all the time. They become very familiar with him. We don't have to sedate them to load them in a truck to take them somewhere. Yeah, it's great.
So these animals can keep a vet busy full time.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right.
Yep. Between regular vaccinations, any sort of procedures, medication management, all of that, definitely a full-time job.
You want food?
Hey guys.
We don't have
girls. Jay, boy or girl?
She's female. Hi, Twiggy. What's up, little girl?
That's a laid-back horse right there.
Yeah, she's pretty chill. She's Twiggy.
You know, I just thought that when these lions and tigers saw a horse, they would just, you know, go crazy. But I guess unless it does something to excite them, they don't care about it.
I mean, at first when they come in, they have to get used to the fact that there's a horse and 3 goats roaming the property. But it just becomes kind of like, oh, it's just the horse.
Yeah.
Solomon is just having a little roll in the grass, spending some time out on the playground.
And just want to show you how chill they are. Here's that was a horse. He almost knocked me over. He wanted to get in the video, but that's the horse. Then look at this. Look who's coming.
Yep.
Isn't that funny? And all these, it just amazes me. These are right outside the enclosure, and they're just he's just ignoring them.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm so glad we got the goats in. There's another walkway up there which I love. They give them a place to get away from everybody.
Oh yeah, and when you're up there, it's really high. I did a Feline Friday from this enclosure before the cats got moved in. So before it was completely finished and while it was still empty. And I gave everybody a little tour of all the catwalks up top, and it's high up, let me tell you.
We're gonna walk over to the serval. Okay, we're looking at a serval, and this is
So
who?
the one on the ground, that's Jax.
Oh, I didn't see the one up there.
The one on the catwalk, that's Nefertiti.
See it go up.
Yep.
Yeah. So these guys are from Africa, and they, I mean, these two specifically are not, but the species is from Africa. They inhabit the grasslands, and so they overlap territories with lions and leopards and cheetahs and hyenas. These guys
Are they kind of at the lower end of the totem pole?
They hunt different things though. So these guys will hunt birds, they'll hunt rodents, reptiles.
I think I have seen pictures of these jumping from the ground.
Yes,
they
have
can get
really
like
long
5
legs.
feet off the ground. It was amazing.
Yeah, they have really, really long legs.
Does anything hunt them?
Yes. so
Given their size.
if a bigger predator comes on them and has the opportunity to, they'll take it.
Tell me about the servals, their defense mechanism. They're at the lower end of the totem pole, so how do they
are.
defend themselves?
They are. So if they see a bigger predator coming, what they'll do is they'll hunker down in the tall grass, and their hiss is very like guttural. It's almost very like spitty, like a cobra. And so that bigger predator will hear that noise and think it's a cobra. Be like, oh, I don't want any part of that, and they'll head the other direction.
Okay.
Serval's fine.
Smart.
Yep, they are
Nature.
very smart. This is Lily. She's one of our spotted leopards, and she came to us from a private owner here in Texas. And she was pretty nervous at first, and she was very feisty. She's still feisty, but not quite as much as she was when she first came. But she is very, very silly. She will play with her enrichment. She will play hide and seek in piles of leaves. She did that this last fall.
Cute.
Oh, just the cutest thing.
And can people adopt these animals? Do you ever adopt them out?
Not adopt them out, but we
Like
do
for
have,
donation?
Absolutely, we do have an adoption program, so people can. It's basically sponsoring a cat.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
So we do have that available for. We have 3 different levels: small cat, medium cat, and big cat.
Lovejoy fans, this is something you guys should think about.
Absolutely.
Adopt your leopard here.
Adopt your leopards.
That's
Yeah,
a great
we have-
idea.
We have 5 to choose from.
Okay, who's this rascal?
This is Loki, and he is one of our lemurs. He is not a cat, as you might have noticed. He and our other lemur were special exceptions to our cats only rule.
Lemurs are very social animals, aren't they?
They are, and it's actually a female-dominated species.
Yeah.
So you can have multiple females and no males. You can have multiple males and 1 female. This is Aramis. He's one of our black leopards, which is the same species as spotted leopard. It's just a different genetic variation of the color expression. So like one person has blonde hair, one person has brown hair. It's just a gene trait.
What was your, out of curiosity, what was your background before this? Did you have any training in, feline?
I've always been fascinated by animals and science and wildlife conservation and things like that. So that wasn't my paid job, but it's just my passion.
Right. But it didn't require any type of special training to be a volunteer out here, or even staff member.
Staff members do have to have specialized training.
Okay.
We get a lot of our staff members who've come from programs of like wildlife ecology, wildlife biology, zoology, animal behavior, things like that.
Right.
But to be a volunteer, nope, we train you on the job.
Typically, how many hours does a volunteer work a week? It's probably across the board.
Yeah, it's across the board, but we do ask our volunteers to work. I believe it's at least 3 to 4 days a month.
Do you ever have a hard time filling them? I mean, is there enough? You do have a hard time?
We do have a hard time. This last year has been really, really rough to get enough volunteers out here.
Because of COVID?
Because of COVID and because of, people just having, there's so many things going on that they just can't get out here. So
now, I know, who knows what's going to happen with COVID in the near future, but right now, masks are required inside, but not outside. Is that correct?
Not outside unless you're within 6 feet of a cat.
Yeah, at this time anyway. Who knows what,
I was going to ask that question, but I thought it was a silly question. So cats can get COVID.
Cats
Are
can
you
get
serious?
COVID. Some of ours have had COVID. Luckily, they've all come through just fine. But we did did have several of our cats who tested positive for COVID.
Oh, darn.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. How'd they get it?
Likely the same way that the cats at the Bronx Zoo and all the other zoos have human contact with somebody who was carrying it that was either asymptomatic or before they knew, or
maybe they
anything like
sneezed or something like that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. Well, get out here quick, because who knows how long the mask, masks aren't going to be required. Tell us about this wall, Angela.
So this is our memorial wall,
Uh-huh.
and this is put up to honor the cats who have already crossed over the Rainbow Bridge that we have had and who have passed away.
And tell me how you said you cremate them, is that correct?
Yes.
And then you give the ashes to the...
The ashes are kept with us here. The owner keeps the ashes.
This shows you really do love your animals.
We do. Our operating budget is about $1.2 million per year. About $130,000 of that is vet bills and vet care. $20,000 a month for food, and then we have salaries for our staff members, which we wish that we could pay them more.
Sure.
Because they're worth.
Oh yeah.
They're worth far more than their weight in gold.
Yeah.
But yeah, just food, medications, vet bills.
Right. Do you ever get to the point where you're really worried where the funds are going to come from?
It does happen. Winters particularly are tough because people aren't coming out. Winters are hard. That's why North Texas Giving Day is so important. Is it helps bring us the funds that we need to make it through the winter.
Okay. So that's by far your biggest donation day.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
This year our goal is $150,000. We hit it last year. That was our goal last year, and we exceeded it. So we're hopeful that we're going to be able to exceed it.
Great. Okay. Well, we're going to help you. We'll see if we can get some donations for you. Angela, thank you so much for, this is a hot day. It's probably 95, 96. So we really appreciate you spending the time to talk about this fabulous facility.
Oh, absolutely.
Could you give us the website address one more time, and the address and then the name?
Sure. So it's insyncexotics.org, and it's all one word, no spaces, no hyphens. You can also find us on Facebook at InSync Exotics. We're on Twitter, we're on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on LinkedIn, and we are on Pinterest.
And the address?
The physical address?
Yeah.
Our physical address is 3430 Skyview Drive in Wylie.
Okay.
Yeah, and it easily gets you here from Google Maps.
Yeah.
There's no problem getting here. It's a beautiful drive.
Right. So thank you very much. We sure appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And Alice, thank you too.
Thank you so much for doing this, guys.
Hit it! That's what I'm talking about.
Wait! Okay, now, from the beginning.
Hit it, boys.